Welcome. This is Unleash the Power of Age, programs and activities from the Rose Baker Senior Center on behalf of the Gloucester Council on Aging. I'm Jennifer Lee Levitz, the host, and we have a fabulous guest. Our own visiting nurse, Peg McDermott, is here with me today, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. Right, Peggy?
Right. I think some of you know me because I'm usually at the Rose Baker Center every Wednesday from about 9:30 until 12:15. I'm usually there all the time, but due to this wonderful pandemic that we have of COVID-19, which is the coronavirus, we are all, every single little person that's living is home sequestered or out walking with their friends 6 feet apart with a mask and gloves on. And hopefully this will all end in, well, I better be safe and say in a few months. The sooner the better.
Sooner the better.
We don't know. So I would like, since everybody is so besieged with the virus and how it's affecting everyone, we are kind of on the curve right now, and I think everybody is trying to be very compliant so we can talk about other things.
That would be great. That would be great. We're so bombarded with the virus that we, what about our regular health issues and concerns and staying healthy? And in the meantime, we're isolated, we're by ourselves, we still have our daily issues. This is what's the concern I was thinking about. What are people who are used to certain kinds of health care and seeing you once a week, people like that, what can we do to take care of ourselves?
Well, there's a lot of things to take care of yourself. It would be good if you had 3 meals a day, or some people can't take 3 meals a day, at least 2 healthy ones and 1 very light one. Watching your salt intake and watching your fat calories. You can have as much salad as you would like.
You have enough toilet paper.
Yeah, and now everybody is looking for more toilet paper. That's all I can say. And paper towels. Right. Very hard to find it. But for your wellness, also, you need to get out and walk. Walking is the best exercise that you can do. It doesn't need to be for a long period of time. It doesn't need to be fast. It can be slow, as long as it's 20 to 25 minutes long. Best if you can do it every day, but at least 3 times a week. And it can be at your own pace in your own neighborhood. For right now, I would like people to make sure that they wear a mask and gloves.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And even though you are in your neighborhood and there's no one around you, you need to make sure that you are 6 feet from other people that are walking. Pick your neighborhood. Pick some place that is really easy for you to get to. There's all kinds of, I know a lot of state parks, and the Stage 4 park is closed to cars, but if you're within walking distance, it's a very beautiful park, and you can go right down and look at the water. It's very beautiful. But Gloucester is a beautiful community, and you can walk out and you can see things that other people can't see.
That's true, especially now since they've closed the parking areas. You cannot park in any beaches, right?
Yeah. Parking areas to the beaches are closed as well.
Let me just say that I want to point out that this broadcast will be for all of Cape Ann. not just
Okay.
Webster.
So it'll be for Rockport too?
Rockport,
Rockport's a beautiful.
Manchester, and Essex.
There's plenty of places everyone can walk, as long as you just remember to keep 6 feet from the next person, unless it's someone that you're living with every day. And then you wear your gloves, okay? But
Yes.
the mask is right now is extremely important, you know. I'm sure people are sick of cooking. I know that I'm sick of cooking, and I know that I've gained weight from all the chocolate that I've been eating.
Oh, bad girl. People may have just seen me cough. I have desperately miserable allergies right now. And
a lot of people,
a
Jennifer,
lot of
have
people do.
allergies.
I'll take just a moment right now to point out that I was a little worried. I got scared because the allergies came in fast and hard and affected my asthma. And there I was with half the symptoms of the virus. And I was freaking out. And then I had a conversation with you, and you told me to call my doctor. And I kept thinking, oh, I know what it is, and I know it'll be okay, but it wasn't. It was really getting out of hand. So I called the doctor, told me to increase my asthma medication, and he gave me the name of a nose spray to use, and I'm doing much better, and I'm not so worried. And I want to thank you for giving me that advice, and I want to recommend that people will do that. Would you talk more about that?
Yeah, I can talk about that. It's when I go back to the clinic, I'm employed by the VNA Care Network, and I chiefly now I'm a senior citizen too, so I only do the Gloucester Clinic.
Right.
However, it's just a wonderful. I like all of Cape Ann. Personally, I think all of Cape Ann is very beautiful, and especially the areas near the beach, which everybody is lucky to have. But you can have right now, people are very upset and afraid because you don't know who is sick or who's a carrier for this miserable virus. So just like Jennifer said, just like myself, I have blocked ears and sometimes occasionally a sore throat. If my ears are really blocked and I swallow, sometimes it bothers me, and that made me very nervous. So I called my physician.
Yep.
They're doing a lot of things right now. They're doing telehealth, which is they have a program that allows them, if compatible, to view each person they're talking to. But of course, I have antique equipment, so that's why we're doing this broadcast. But
without seeing your beautiful face live, we'll have a picture of you though.
But just because you're sneezing, your nose is dripping, your ears might be blocked, you might have a very simple little cough, it doesn't mean that you have the virus, okay? People have been very good in trying really hard the last couple of months, and it is lonely to be at home, especially if you live alone. Pets help. I think it's very I have a cat. She has become my best friend here. But I occasionally go out and walk with friends, and I'm careful to make sure that I wear a mask and gloves. But after this is gone, we're going to we are now starting tick season. So you want to make sure that if you're walking in the woods, that you walk with. Make sure that you have socks that cover your bottom parts of your legs and that you wear long pants. And then when you get home, you just check yourself all over for little ticks. And they're small, okay? But
And
you should enjoy.
Use insect repellent.
You can. They have a tick-resistant insect repellent now all over the place. But this will end. There was the Spanish flu in 1918, and that killed more people than the coronavirus. And we got through that. And if anything at all, this virus will make people more aware of washing your hands as often as possible. I can't say that enough. I don't want people to become obsessive about it. But if you're doing an activity and then you're going to put something in your mouth, that's how come it's spreading. This is how come this virus is spreading. Because people are not washing their hands before they put something into their mouth, or their nose is dripping. And your masks, you can wash them, even though they're made out of, it's almost like a cottony kind of blend. You need to wash them and hang them up if you don't have access to a whole lot of them. And when you use gloves, the best thing is to throw them away after you wear them once. But if you can't and you don't have a multitude of gloves and masks, you can wash them. You can just wash them.
Well, that's
you know, you can. They don't fall apart. My daughter lives in New York with her family, and they're washing their masks and they're washing their gloves, soap and water.
That's good. Yes.
You know, and that's, you know, you even if you have the kind of gloves that you wash the floors with, you can just wash those in soap and water and wear those.
That's what I'm using.
Yeah, and
gloves.
Yeah, and if you have gloves that women have gloves, just wipe them off, wash them when you get home, and you can wear them again.
Okay.
You know, but you need to be protective of yourself. Okay. You know, and even though I know everybody loves to see their relatives, well, you can't just go over and shed loving kisses. You can give them a little wave, and hopefully we'll be through all this, and people can enjoy the beach and walk, you know, in woods and along the beach coasts and in your neighborhood. You can. People are very friendly now. They wave at you when they go by you. Because they're lonely too. Everybody's lonely.
Everybody's lonely. That's part. So, but
you still have a life to enjoy when it's a beautiful day like today, and it's going to be nice, I think, for a few days during the week. Get out. Get out and walk. You know?
If you can. Listen, I can't go out right now because of the allergies. It would make me but as soon as I can, I will be out again. I just want to run through those couple of things again. You brought up about being lonely. You know, we talk about in the senior community, we talk about isolating anyway, and about how important it is to socialize and socialization for one's health, not just mental, for every part of your health. And now we are so restricted. It's very important to make contact whenever possible, however you can, in a safe way. I think of the people in the housing who live alone, who have to stay away from the groups. And I'm trying to think of ways for people to socialize who don't know how to get on the computer. We are going to have a lesson, hopefully by the end of this week, on how to use your iPhone for FaceTime and how to use the Android system for that kind of connection too. I know you do that with your daughter, right?
Yes, I Skype with my daughter, and a lot of people, I have a group of friends, and they meet on Wednesday nights virtually on their they do Zoom, which is not, I guess, not that difficult. My phone is kind of an antique, so I'm having more trouble, but most people do not. There's a host with an ID, and they just click on that. Now, if you don't have a computer and you don't have that, I know that in Ipswich, Sheila Taylor, who is the director of the COA, she is there and she is welcoming calls just to talk if
That's
people feel.
right.
And I'm not sure about the Council on Aging in
Lucy,
Gloucester, but I
Lucy,
think Gloucester does the same thing.
they've been making calls. There are a few people who've been making the calls, and Lucy makes the calls herself, and it's going on constantly. So there is
And every community in the Council on Aging or Senior Center will open up and welcome your calls, but everybody feels the same way as you do. We all feel isolated and restricted, but it will come to an end.
I just want to go through my list quickly and make sure we covered the stuff we really wanted to do. I just want to take another minute. So I'll reiterate that we will have numbers listed at the end and contacts for people. And to go back to you, to the VNA, the visiting, there's a new name for it. What's the VNA now?
It's still, it's VNA Care is
VNA
the name of it.
And
there are other ones too. When people are hospitalized, the nurses and therapists are still going to your house. But if you are in the hospital, your social service department would set up all these things. As long as you said, I live alone, or I'm elderly and I need help, they will set this up. They'll come in and talk to you, and they would make all the calls for you. But if you're at home and you need help, you do have to call your doctor.
That's what I wanted to get to. You still have to start with your doctor, and then they will facilitate in one way or another getting help for you.
Mostly the reason is because nurses and even nurse practitioners in the VNA, they have to work under a physician's order. Right. So if you want a visiting nurse, or you need a therapist, or you need a health aide, because you fell, or you have a problem with tendonitis. A lot of people have a problem with tendonitis and bursitis. You have to start with your doctor.
Right.
You tell them, I want my Medicare or my Medicaid will pay for me to get these services. This is your right, and you can have it, but you do have to start with your doctor.
Okay, that's a really important message. I wanted to try to steer away from the virus because we can't treat the virus, but people still have everyday little things like you burn yourself cooking, or you cut yourself, or my allergies. So the main message is call your doctor.
You do. And if you're on a blood thinner, you want to be careful when you're using any kind of outdoor equipment that you don't cut yourself, because you'll bleed heavier than someone else.
Right.
So you want to be careful about that, but you still want to have fun.
Okay.
So if you can bike, if you're young and you can bike. If you can walk. And if you can't, there's a lot of things at your fingertips through your phone that you can get. A lot of services.
You're right. There are a lot of apps now. There are a lot of ways on the phone or on the computer where you can get physical exercises to do, or you can get mental exercises to do.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that you can get if you have a phone. That's all you have to do. And if you need, and you don't have a computer, people that have computers have more access to things than people that don't. But if you don't, you have a phone, hopefully, and you just get on the phone and call your local COA or your senior center and get help. Okay? There are books on tape. There's a lot of things. You can play virtual poker.
Or solitaire.
Or solitaire. You know, I mean, the thing is, we're all together in this.
Okay. Thank you, my darling.
All right, and thank you, Jennifer. What will we do without you?
Oh, I don't know. Well, we're not going to find out anytime soon. Listen, I'm glad that you sound great. I hope you are as well as you sound. Give that kitty a big hug for me.
I'll give that kitty a big hug.
Okay,
Her
honey.
name is Pearl.
Pearl, I love it.
Pearl.
Pearl.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bruce Tarr, and I hope you're doing well in these very challenging times that have been brought upon us by the COVID-19 pandemic. You know, it's really important to maintain our physical health by doing things like washing our hands, avoiding groups of larger than 10 people, covering our cough by coughing into our elbow, and also by keeping aware of the symptoms that someone may have if they've developed coronavirus. But as important as physical health is, mental health is important too. These are times that naturally give us anxiety, and for some people, it may even give us depression. So it's really important that we do the things that we need to do to keep in a good state of mental health. Now, some of them are pretty easy. One of them is finding a pen pal. You know, research has proven that when you write to someone, it actually helps your mental health. But just remember, when you put the letter in the mailbox, make sure to wash your hands after you do that. We can also use technology by doing things like virtual hangouts with FaceTime or Google Hangout or one of those programs. That's important. And you know, it's always important to help out someone. So if you can help a neighbor with an errand, that's a good thing to do, as long as you maintain the appropriate elements of social distancing and the other health protocols that we've already talked about. You know, it's also important to get outside. The weather's getting a little bit nicer out. And when we have a good day, it's fine to go for a walk. And you might even see some of your neighbors. Give them a wave. Let them know that you're thinking about them. That's important. In addition, social media can help us connect with others, but we need to make sure to do that in moderation. Don't let it develop to a point where you feel overwhelmed. Now, if you need a little bit of outside help, then there are resources for that too. And one of the things you can do is dial 211 on your telephone. And when you dial 211, if you press option 25, you'll reach a service that's called Call to Talk. And there are folks that can talk with you and help you make sure that you're in a good state of mental health. There are other services that are available on Call to Talk as well, and you'll hear those as you're going through the menu when you call the number. You know, I'm coming to you because you have an active Council on Aging, and they've been working with our office and others in state and local and federal government to make sure that we're all pulling in the same direction to do the right things, to help support all of the people that we represent, and you're one of them. So remember, we care about you, we want you to be well, and we want you to be in a good state of mental health. We all have that goal, and we want you to do your part too. So help us by doing the things that it takes to limit the transmission of the COVID virus by washing your hands, maintaining a distance of 6 feet from folks, and covering your sneeze, and all the other things that we've talked about. Remember, most of all, we can get through this by working together, and we can make sure to keep our neighbors safe and healthy by doing some very simple things. So thanks to your Council on Aging, and thanks to you for watching this, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk again soon. Be healthy, and remember, we will move forward through this virus.